Hello all. First, hi. It's been a while, at least since I've made a video for you. I've posted plenty, but first one I made for a while. And I hope you all have been well. And second off, I have not yet had time today to take care of myself, so please don't look too closely at my hair or face. Third, they're chilling right now, but I hope you all aren't too distracted by my dogs whose nails have grown way too long and who might very well go tip-tapping all over the floors while I'm making this video. Hopefully not. Fourth, and most importantly, my reason for sending this video, which is Writing Project 2. You guys should already have completed the rough draft of your second writing project. If not, there's still time to do it. Don't freak out. Just do it ASAP. But Writing Project 2 is a rhetorical analysis, which means a breakdown of how the rhetoric is working in your core reading, or a breakdown of how your core reading is written. Tomorrow, your peer reviews for these writing projects are due, so I'm making this video to you all before I myself get around to grading and commenting on your rough drafts of Writing Project 2. So the video is to explain to you all some of the common errors and issues that I'm seeing in these drafts. The idea is that you'll watch this video, take some notes on what I'm saying about these issues, and then apply those notes to your own draft, seeing what you can fix up before my actual individualized comments come out to you all. Chances are very, 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 very good that you all are having the issues that I discuss in the video, and that the issues I mention here in this video will probably wind up getting talked about in my individual comments to you. I might even just say in your comments, please watch the video, so you can be ahead of the game by watching this video right now. Okay, so here we go. First, regarding Writing Project 2, I have read through all rough drafts that have been submitted up to this point, so that's where these comments come from. First, I'll be really, really nice when I say this, despite the fact that I want to go like drill sergeant on you guys and get you to like drop and give me 20 or run laps or something. I want to yell like I'm a drill sergeant, because I can tell that, like for a fact, that a lot of you guys are actually not reading the assignments all the way through before you do them. And when I say read the assignments, I mean go to where the document, the assignment prompt is that says what you're supposed to do for Writing Project 2, and read it all the way through. Not just what you're supposed to be doing on the rough draft, but also on the final draft. Okay, so one of the things that this document does, the prompt, is it not only tells you what you need to do, but it does it like bullet point by bullet point. And it gives you something called a rubric, grading guide, that shows you actually how you'll be graded on these assignments. And those bullet points you can actually use on the rubric, you can actually use as like a checklist to see if you're doing exactly what the assignment is asking for. So if you aren't spending time with the assignment prompt, with the writing project documents, and saying, okay, this is what the prompt is telling me to do, so this is like what I'm going to put on my checklist to make sure I do, both as I write and after I've written it, as I'm reading through it, to see like, have I done what the assignment is asking me to do. For a lot of you all, I think this is very probably one of the reasons you're having such trouble with your writing projects, if you aren't carefully checking out these prompts. Also, did you know that there are sample papers in your modules, and that you can make assignments look exactly like those sample papers? I'm not talking about copying them, I'm talking about modeling your writing projects after these sample student writing projects. These are projects that were written by actual students that got A's for a reason, right? So what you want to do is go through your modules and look for sample papers. You'll see, like when you get to the writing project assignment itself, if you scroll to the bottom of that page on the module, you should see something that says resources, and then something that says like student paper or sample paper and MLA. You want to do MLA so you don't confuse yourself and do APA or a mix. But you can go and look at these sample papers, and formatting wise, you can copy what the samples are doing, but you can also study those samples and what they're doing in each paragraph to say, oh, I could be doing that too in each paragraph. Do that, please. If you haven't looked at the sample papers yet, they're hugely, hugely helpful. I can tell, I really can, what students have seen those samples and what students haven't. So when you're clicking through the modules, again, you come upon the writing project prompt itself, the writing project assignment. Look for something that says resources and then like student sample paper or something like that. Click on that and read it, study it. It was done well. So you can ask yourself, like, what can I do that assignment is doing? Okay, second, a lot of you guys are missing that second source that the prompt asks for. That's actually one of the reasons I know that some of you guys aren't reading the prompts all the way through. So that second source could help you do a lot of things, and maybe that's why some of you guys aren't using it, because you don't even know how you would use it. So you find it through Ivy Tech's virtual library. So you go to library.ivytech.edu. From there, you click on article, or I would click on Bloomington because Bloomington has the most sources. Then I would click on articles or books, and you can search for either an article or a book using a keyword search. So if you're looking for like social media and depression, you could just type social media depression in search boxes and look that way. Don't be timid about looking for books, because you can actually, that's my kid, you can actually look for a book and search in the book itself. So you don't have to like read an entire book or even read an entire chapter. You can search for your terms in the book itself, and it will actually, that search term or those search terms will actually be highlighted throughout the book. And so you can just read those selected places. Several things you can do with that second source. You can give background information on what your core reading is talking about. You can use it to define something. So you can actually do, that's my husband in a towel. You can actually, you can look at a dictionary actually, or references. So you don't even have to click on articles or books. You can click on references and find like an encyclopedic discussion of social media, for example. Again, define something. You can find a source that agrees or disagrees with your author. You can discuss something that your author could be doing better. So, the second source, you use it in any way really that works for you. You're the one that's doing the discussion. So you're the one that says what goes, how the source is working. Your source could actually be arguing something better or worse than how your core reading author is doing it. And that can help you with your analysis. So as long as you're saying what that second source is meant to show, you're probably using it right. Third, some of you guys are still having serious issues with MLA formatting, and that is why I've given 0 credit on some of your assignments, especially if you don't have in-text citations or a works cited page. You can make that credit up, but I give the 0 first to send the message that without proper formatting and taking care to follow certain standards for your paper, your present and future professors, when you turn in papers for them, will actually have no reason to pay any attention to the content of your paper. This is actually also true for resumes and any work you do for future employers or potential employers. Someone looks at your resume, for example, and the formatting's all wonky, they'll trash it. They won't even look at it to see if you're a good candidate. You may be an amazing candidate, but the fact that you didn't follow the standards, it makes people not take you seriously, even if you're dead serious and you're an amazing thinker, amazing person, you'd be such a great fit for the company, it's not going to matter to them. So formatting is important. Now what's funny is it's not everything, and it isn't even one of the top 2 or 3 most important things in your paper. But unless the formatting is mostly clean, unless you followed the standards, you are sending this message that says, you don't have to take me seriously because I haven't met the most basic criteria for what the assignment is or the resume is. I promise you that I'm telling you in the nicest possible way, and that refusing to grade or comment your paper until you've met the formatting standards is a kindness to you. It really, really is. So please take me seriously, take the formatting seriously, and if the formatting in your paper is all wonky because you actually don't know how to make the formatting look good, that is when you get in touch with me and you say, whoa, hey, listen, I don't understand this formatting thing at all. First, I'll remind you to go back to announcements and look for videos that I posted on MLA formatting. But if you still don't get it, please get in touch with me so I can help you out. Okay, fourth and next to last, we're almost done. I've posted a video also in announcements on what a rhetorical analysis even is, because I would say the majority of you guys, close to 100%, if not 100%, are fundamentally misunderstanding what Writing Project 2 is even about. But that's okay, because it gives us something to work with. So whether you think you understand rhetorical analysis or not, pretend like you don't. And please, 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 please just watch that video. It's posted under announcements again. It's one of the last things I posted. And one of the reasons you want to watch it is because I would say most of you who turned in the draft are actually treating a rhetorical analysis like it's an argument paper, like you're supposed to be agreeing or disagreeing with your core reading. That's not what you really need to be doing. You actually want to be deciding whether the core reading has met its original goals by examining the moves that your core reading author makes and what the effect of those moves is on the audience. Like, what do you think the intended effect was, and then what was the actual effect? And that will help you determine not whether the source is right or wrong, because that's not really that important. It's not really that interesting whether somebody's right or wrong. What's important is how somebody got to where they got to. So, for example, you can think like abortion is the worst thing in the world, like it's a kind of murder. But if you don't take responsible moves to show how that's true, then it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. What matters is that you didn't use ethical, intelligent, careful means to show that you're right. Same thing where if you think like a woman's right to choose is way more important than any right that a fetus might have to life, depending on what life is. It doesn't matter so much whether you're right or wrong. What matters is how you make your argument, what evidence you present, and how you make it. That might be a way that you think about your rhetorical analysis. It doesn't matter so much whether your author is right or wrong. What matters is how he or she made the argument. Too much humor? Does the humor actually help? Is it totally humorless and it could use some humor, and here's why? Does the author make valid points but not support them that great? Does the author make incredible points and support them really well? Like, what things in the core reading is the author doing to win his or her argument, and put together, do those things work? Does it work? Watch that video. Watch the video on rhetorical analysis. I promise it'll help you out. It's so short. It's so helpful. You'll be glad you did. Again, since rhetorical analysis is what you're supposed to be doing for Writing Project 2, if you don't understand what rhetorical analysis is, it's not going to work out all that well for you. Okay, and lastly, besides being glad that you're still here in the class, but also watching this video, I want to give you all a gift, which is a suggested structure for Writing Project 2. So in the intro, as the video suggests, you want to give the rhetorical situation of your core reading. I'd suggest Googling rhetorical situation and going from there. James, you want to say hi? Here's a cute baby if paper's getting you down. Scoot a little more in. There you go. And a little more over. There he is. Hi, James. Say hi to everybody. Say watch that video on rhetorical analysis. Okay. All right, so we were talking about rhetorical situation. Do that in the introduction. If you watch the video on rhetorical analysis and you still don't understand what rhetorical situation is, that totally makes sense. Google it. RHETORICAL, and and then situation. You'll find a good definition on there, a good idea of what you want to do for your intro. And this is very important. A lot of you guys are mostly summarizing in your rhetorical analysis. You're just saying what the author is doing, not how they're doing it, not how what they're doing is effective. Your intro, which includes a summary in part, should not be more than a paragraph, 2 maximum, but really you don't need more than a paragraph to give that rhetorical situation and summary. It should be the only place where you're doing heavy summarizing, except where you're talking about what the author is doing to help readers understand what you're talking about. So, first paragraph, rhetorical situation. And then in each body paragraph after that, you want to discuss a single move or choice or whatever tool that the author is using or making. Then give evidence that tool, like of how that tool is being used in a quote or a paraphrase. Make sure you cite that quote or paraphrase. And then discuss what makes that tool, move, or choice effective. You do this for each body paragraph, staying focused only on that one tool per paragraph. And then in one of those body paragraphs, wherever you do it is totally up to you, you would introduce that second source. I'm noticing, or I've noticed in classes past, that people seem to have the most success when they use the second source either toward the beginning of the paper to give some background information, or toward the end to say, hey, here's another source that's talking about this same subject. Your conclusion is really just going to restate what you've been talking about, the moves your author's made, and then give some kind of takeaway. That is like an idea about what readers should walk away thinking about, what they should take away from your paper or your core reading. That's it, you all. I know it's a lot, but it's a lot because there's a lot of work to do in a good way. And what I mean is that there is a great opportunity here. There's a week left to knock Writing Project 2 out of the park. If you're really focusing on what Writing Project 2 is supposed to be doing, and you're really focusing on how to do well on it, really. So I'm wishing you major luck with your pieces, as always. More than luck, though, I'm wishing you a comfortable and calm place to do your work, enough time to do it in, and stamina. One of the best things you can have going for you when you're doing this work is just stamina, like ability to stick it out. That's all on this rhetorical analysis. Look out next week for announcements about midterm grades and something I call the midterm cutoff, which is where I basically don't accept work from before the midterm, after the midterm, for my sanity and for yours. But just keep an eye for that announcement later. Also, you'll be looking for grades and comments on Writing Project 2. They should be coming no later than Wednesday or Thursday. If it looks like I'm being pokey, you're free to poke me and say, like, hey, where are my comments? No problem. That's it for now, guys. Take care. Bye.